record. Okay. Hi, guys. I like seeing all your faces. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to start right away because I want to get through everything and not keep you guys up late. So, because if you're like me, it's like 8:30 and you're like, oh my God, can I please just take off my bra and take out my contacts and be done?
I already.
By the way, holy but a goodie. Who else has a sweatshirt? Anybody? It's one of my faves. All right, so I want to start. You know what? I was going to start with a little bit of recognition, but is Lee on yet? She's not even on yet, but I'm going to shout her out even though she's not on yet. So this month, like you guys, October, for whatever reason, I feel like every year, October is, nobody wants to hear it. Everyone's like, I just want to eat my candy and I want you to leave me alone. Like, it's a struggle every year. But the good news is all that hard work that we put in October, even though it feels like you're talking to nobody and it feels like you're begging people to pull the trigger, all that work pulls off in November and December and January, trust me. So working hard and forming connections is never a waste of time, ever. So a couple shout outs for the month though. Lee Brunis, she's coming, she's putting her daughter to bed. But it was her first official full month of coaching. She went Emerald, she hit Success Club 6, and she just is killing it. She's doing a great job. And that is, like, I'm sure when she comes on we can ask her, but she's just really good at connecting with people. A couple other things, Megan, Sarah, Joanna, Melissa, Pete, all hit Success Club. If I miss anybody, guys, just tell me because I'm trying to pull up my reports before we do this. Who else? Tracy and Maggie and Rebecca Rowe are brand new coaches. They got their first Success Club points in October. Anybody else that I'm missing? Just like all around good stuff. Steph, Warlick, and Sarah are already at Success Club this month, so that's awesome. That must feel good to be like, okay, I'm good. What's cool is, like, for me personally, once I hit Success Club 10, I'm like, all right, now I can focus on other things. I can focus more on my team. I can focus more on, more like fun stuff like graphics and things like that.
So I was not waiting until the 20th to hit Success Club.
Not waiting, yeah. Well, we all do that once in a while. It's not really, you know what, Sarah? It's not us, it's them. We do our best. It's other people who are waiting to pull the trigger.
You're right.
Yeah. But anyway, it just feels so good when you hit Success Club early in the month, doesn't it? Just like, all right. There's in Beachbody, there are a lot of good promotions and fun things happening. I'm not going to take up a huge chunk of time talking about that, but I want to teach you, for those of you who don't know, I want to teach you how to be on top of what's going on so that you can read through those, the breaking news later. So all you have to do is log into your coach office, scroll down just a little bit, like right below that blue box that tells you what your Success Club points are and whether you're active or inactive, etc. Scroll right down below that box and you'll see it says Coach Breaking News. So you can read through them. You can read through all the new stuff that's going on. Most importantly for us right now is that everything's $20 off, which is huge. The fact that people can get a challenge pack and Shakeology, Beachbody annual all access on demand and Shakeology for $140 is like ridiculous. So lots of good stuff going on there. So check that out. I want to show you also, let me screen share just a minute. Sometimes I feel like there's so much stuff going on that I don't know everything, and that's okay. You have to give yourself some grace to know that you're not going to know every single thing that's going on in the company because there's a lot of stuff. But an example of that is that I got this email that was like, you have reached marker 4. And I was like, oh, cool. What is that? So I went into my coach office and it's, they're giving like cool prizes for people who have reached Success Club a certain amount in a row or a certain amount of Success Club points. So let me share this screen with you to show you something else that they're doing right now. they used to do a little prize every month for Success Club. And sometimes it was like a hat or a tank, and other times it was like a call or a webinar. So what they're doing now is, where is it? I'm trying to share it with you. Let's see if this works. No. Darn it, I can't show you. I can't, but anyway, so what they're doing now is if you hit Success Club a certain amount of months in a row, you get different prizes, which is really cool. Again, you can find this in your coach office. I think the first, like if you hit Success Club 1 month, you get a coach hat, which is cute. 3 months, you get a, what is 3 months, Sarah? Sarah, is that the sweatshirt, or am I thinking something different?
No, it's a tank top.
Tank top, yep. And then 6 months is a duffel bag.
But I think it was June, July, and August, September, October. No, I don't know what it is. I think it was like 2 months, then 5 months, and then the rest of the year.
Yeah. So basically what they're doing is they're encouraging you to, they're not giving out little prizes every month. They're doing more big prizes for longer periods of Success Club. I save that graphic to my computer so I can post it in the team page later. But just another way that we get incentivized, which is always cool. Okay, so in other news, the next Super Saturday and Super Sunday, it seems far away, but it's not. It's going to like sneak up on us. The next Super Weekend is January 12th and 13th. Personally, I hope to go to the one in Philly where Raina Odell is speaking. That's her name, right, guys? And all around the country, they have them. So Philly's I think Philly is in the minority of having them on Sundays, but just look up where they are in your area, and chances are there are Team Reborn, Team Rockstar Fit coaches who will be there. It's really cool just to connect, and like being at live events just makes a big difference. So speaking of live events, Sarah Joanna and I went to the Diamond Retreat last weekend. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere, New York. The town was called Wappinger Falls or Finger Lakes or something. See, we don't even know where we were, but we had a really good time. We had a really good time. It was
in the Finger Lakes. The Finger Lakes is the county. Wappinger Falls is where I have family that lives there. Okay.
Thank you. So I was kind of right. It's beautiful, but it's definitely a rural area. But it didn't matter because there were 6 of us there. We were from all over New York and New Jersey, and it was just a really, really cool Airbnb. It was perfect for what we needed. And it was different this year because we were connecting virtually with Team Rockstar Fit all over the country. So there were teams in Iowa and Northern California and Wisconsin, all over the place. So it was really cool. But we had a great time in New York, just a really great group of women. It went way too fast, but it was a great retreat. And honestly, like, you kind of forgot that you were connecting virtually because I felt like it didn't feel like a Zoom. Sarah, I don't know how you would describe it. Is Joanna on? Yeah. Like, it didn't feel like a Zoom. It didn't feel like we were just like watching one of Trina's Zooms. It felt more like
it was like I felt like a personal training session. Like, yeah, everything. Well, Trina, first off, if you guys have not been on any type of like Team Rockstar Fit stuff, or if you haven't done the training, you need to dig into there. You need to dig into Trina, because anytime that she speaks, if she doesn't inspire you, then you have to find what inspires you. She's just so amazing. She just knows what to say, when to say it, and it was just really, really great. I love it. Like, being in this company and all the successes that she has, and she just makes you like realize that you could do it too, and she's giving us the tools to do it.
Yeah, there's so many leaders in this company, but I really feel like we got so lucky to have Trina because she's down to earth, she's relatable, she knows her team levels deep. It's not like she's only concerned about her personally sponsored coaches. She invests time and money into us, and it's just like she's just a phenomenal speaker and trainer and leader. And then the second day, at first I thought it was a joke, but the leaders that we had speak to us were Melanie Mitro, Christina Delgado, Chelsea Pearson.
Chelsea Pearson.
Who else?
And then, oh my God, totally drawing a blank right now.
It feels like so long ago. It was only last week.
I want to say Shelby. It's not a Shelby. Oh my God, I was literally just looking at Angie Belmar.
Yeah. So like literally we're on a Zoom like this, right? We're talking, and then all of a sudden Melanie Mitro's on. It was the most bizarre thing. And then she just was like, hey guys, and she just gave us like 30 minutes of bam, like 30 minutes of lightning fire, awesome stuff. And then it's Angie Belmar. And you're like, oh my God, these top 10 the entire company coaches are speaking to us. Like it felt like they were in our living room. It was really cool. But I mean, I could go on and on about the stuff that we took away from that. But what I decided to do was I thought, you know what, we need to have a mini retreat as a team. And we need to have some time where we can come together and do the same thing. Maybe not 2 nights, maybe not even 1 night. I don't know. Maybe it could be like an all-day thing. But so I can take this notebook full of goodness and break it down and put it into bite-sized chunks that apply to us and where we're at in our business. So I want you guys on that note to save the date for December. We're doing it the weekend between Christmas and New Year's. And I'll be here. I live in Freehold. I think the dates are December 29th and December 30th. But that timing is perfect because we can work on our dream boards for 2019. I have mine right here framed. This is my dream board. We could put those together. We can talk about new systems and strategies. And like I said, just take a weekend full of notes and break it down into bite-sized chunks and apply it to you guys. And it's just awesome when we're all together. So I hope you can come. It'll be a lot of fun. Melissa's in Canada, but maybe if we all we'll set up a GoFundMe page for her or something. Everybody chip in $20. We'll get her here from Canada. All right. So that will be the weekend of the 29th and 30th. Like I said, I don't know the timing. I don't know if we need 2 days, but we will figure that out. All right. So the next thing to talk to you about. All right. So we are this close to being an elite team, and that has been on my dream board right here at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 star elite, since my first summit when I found out what it means to be an elite team. To be an elite team means to be in the top 0.01% of all Beachbody teams. You have to be 5-star or above. There are elite points that we accumulate through things like volume and retention and new coaches hitting Success Club and all things like that. So today, and I'll be very, very straight with you. So you need 105 points to be an elite team. My current elite points are 53. So I saw that this morning, and I'm not someone who is logging in and looking at my points every day, because I've always said, like, if I do the right things, it'll all fall into place. I'm not going to stress over it. I'm not going to put pressure on my team, because I just want it to happen for us because we deserve it, but I don't want to be stressed out about it. So in the Diamond page today in Rockstar Fit, I explained my situation. I said, we're super close to being 4-star, and I really believe we can be 5-star. and asking the diamond leaders, like, are we too many points away from this? Is it realistic? Because I don't want to have you guys sprint on behalf of our team if it doesn't make sense to sprint. But what I found out and what I've decided is that it makes absolute sense for us to sprint, because what's the very worst that can happen? We don't hit elite, but we still have an awesome end to the year and a really strong finish to next year. Like, I can't say no to doing that. There's no reason for us not to do that. But being an elite team is being an elite team. It's not one of us. It's got to be literally all of us pulling together and making it happen. It's so much about belief, and it's so much about hustle. And I just wanted to say that to you guys with honesty, because I need to know that you guys are in it and behind me, and that you'll push with me and for me to do this, because I really believe we can. So anybody have any questions or feedback, or you can tell me, no, Devin, we think you're crazy, or what do you think?
Yeah, I'm in. Can you hear me?
So let me just kind of explain the logistics of what I'm asking of you guys. The last day to hit 5-star would be next week. So I'd have to wake up 5-star on next Thursday morning. So where we're at right now is that we are a 3-star team. Okay. So Sarah, Joanna, and Marissa
Thanksgiving Thursday
are diamond. That's 21st.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. That's fine. We can do it. So those are 3 diamonds, right? My second business center is 1 emerald away from diamond, and I staff no pressure, but that's you. She's like, I didn't know that. So that, I know we can do it. I know staff can become emerald in a week. That's not an issue. So that would be 4. Megan and I have chatted for a long time about how to get her business to diamond, and I truly believe she can do that, and that would be 5. If any of you guys else are so inspired to hit diamond this week, by all means, go for 7-star, 8-star. The more the merrier. But how we do it is that we get elite points by hitting Success Club first and foremost. The more of us on our team that hit Success Club, the more elite points we get. So especially new coaches. So last month we got a few points from Leah's a new coach who had Success Club points. Maggie, Tracy, they had Success Club points. So we got elite points from that, which is awesome. And again, like, when I'm building a team and I'm training my coaches to be good coaches, I'm not thinking about elite points. It's just, it goes hand in hand. So that was really helpful. All of you guys, like, rank advancing gives us elite points. Going layers deep, it involves you being like, hey, so-and-so, you're inactive. So some of us have dropped rank because we have coaches that are inactive. It's getting on the phone with them and saying, let's order a 3-day refresh and do it together. Let's get you active. What can we do to keep your, explain what our goal is. I think it's much more meaningful when we say, listen, we have a chance to be an elite team, and here's what I need from you, rather than saying, hey, can you buy something? Like, that's not what we're about. I'm not asking people to make random purchases. I'm asking them to understand the reason behind it. So it's accumulating volume. It's keeping your coaches active. It's all that stuff. It's basically all the things that we have talked about and all the things that you've been trained to do as coaches, just doing all them all together in this really great final push. So does anybody have any questions about that? I know it's a lot. Believe me, if you think you're overwhelmed, you have no idea how I feel. I just worry, when I thought about this morning, I thought about, I'm sure you guys know November and December are insane months. It's my kids' birthdays, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas. That's not just me, that's everybody. It's all of you, right? I don't want to put pressure on you and to push really hard if it's not something that we can do. But today I realized it is something that we can do. It is worth the push. So that's where I'm at. And what's the worst that happens? We have really strong end of the year as a team. So I didn't realize you guys are blowing up the chat box. Let me see what's going on over there. Okay. So those are my thoughts. Anybody else have any other thoughts? Lindsay Thompson said to me a long time ago, the goals that make your armpits sweat are the ones that are worth it. And that's exactly how I feel about this. I'm like, oh my God. But I think we can do it. I really do. So moving on from that, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how we plan to revamp our strategy for challenge groups. If you're like me, and it's fine, I think we can all admit that sometimes our joy for coaching and our joy for running a challenge group just kind of takes a dive. Like, so there's some days where I'm like, the last thing I want to do is check into my challenge group right now. Like, I just, to be honest, like sometimes I lose the joy in it. And the reason, it's not good, because part of the reason what we sell and the way we sell people is because we're giving them us. And that's the difference between a gym, right? Like a gym, they don't have us. If they buy their program on Amazon, they don't have us. So we as coaches have that moral responsibility to be in our groups or supporting our challengers. We do. But sometimes it feels like we're doing the same thing over and over again. So what we talked a little bit about the retreat was we decided to revamp. And I want to explain this to you guys, and I want you to have an open mind. So my new plan, and this is my strategy, is I did this last year. What really brought the joy back to coaching for me, or challenge groups I should say for me, was running a group called My Favorite Things. And it was 14 days, and I had fun because I got to go shopping, and I would pick out like my favorite things, like a really cute infinity scarf or a headband, or packs of Energizer, Recover, Shakeology, cute workout wear, like all different stuff for 14 days. Nothing crazy. Most I probably spent a day was like, I don't know, at the most like $15 for 14 days. But to be in that group, you have to be on HD. So I'm opening this group up to my discount coaches who haven't been active in a while, and saying, you can be in this group if you get back going. You have to commit to yourself, you have to commit to me, and therefore you get a spot in the group. And I'm opening it up to challengers who are on HD or new challengers. Every day, at the end of the day, I have a post that they have to comment on, and from those comments, the next day I pick a winner. So it's fun. And I ran this group by myself, and I really enjoyed it. I talked about not just like fitness and nutrition, but I gave content about like where there were really good sales and good deals, and like coupons I found or recipes I found. Like it was all different stuff that was just me. And it made it fun for me. And it also, like, I feel like it made my challengers get to know me better. And I really liked it. So that's my plan for December. I've talked to some of my downline, and some of them want to host their own groups as well. And I encourage you to do that. Even if you guys want to like team up a couple of you and do that, that would be cool. But that's my own personal group that really speaks to me. Is there one that would speak to you? It could be about like a TV show or a movie, or it could be about a book. We did a Girl Wash Your Face book club group that was really fun. We all read the book together. It was great. So just think about what you can do that speaks to you and speaks to your tribe, and I encourage you to do that. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is we had some back and forth about, we've been doing an ongoing, like a rolling challenge group that never begins and ends. It just rolls. And I like that, because I liked I like the idea of not having to add people and delete people, and are we missing someone, and do we upload all the files, and like all that like kind of maintenance work that I feel like Megan always did for us all the time. Like all that stuff that stinks. It stinks to have to do that. So what we did was we kept, ours is called Fall Fit Club, but we kept a group open and people can be added to it at any time. What was happening was our brand new challengers who had never done a program before, they were added to this group, and some people are on like day 50 of ADD Obsession, and meanwhile they're going, what does it mean to meal prep? And what do I do with these containers? So it made it really tricky. And I feel like the new people kind of get thrown in and don't get a lot of guidance. So what we decided to do, and this was, we thought about this, strategized about it, what we decided to do was have a group that is just for new customers. And they go in the group, it's not a challenge group, but they go in this group, and in it are units. And if you haven't seen, Facebook has units, and it's kind of like, if you think of it as a book has chapters, that's kind of what it's like. So they'll go in this new group, and they'll start on unit 1, and they'll click on it. And it'll talk about how to do your weight and your measurements, how to take your pictures. Unit 2, what does it mean to meal prep, and how do I shop the perimeter of the grocery store? Unit 3, it's going to break it down chapter by chapter for new people. And we can have a unit about each program. So for the people who are doing 2B Mindset, Megan said she'll do a unit about 2B Mindset. There can be a unit that Joanna does about ADD Obsession. So we can all contribute to this group where new people go. And after 30 days, when they're no longer new, when they've gone through all the units and they've had a solid 4 weeks or 3 weeks of their program under their belt, they get removed from the newbie group and they get put in our rolling group. So I think that gives them a place to start and feel comfortable as a new customer, and then they can be put in our group that's ongoing. Does anybody have any questions about that? Now again, this is, Sarah runs her own groups, Megan runs her own, like whatever. This, you can do whatever you want. This is just what I'm choosing to do, and that's our strategy. Somebody have a question?
I do.
Okay, hey.
Okay, so for the new group, what's going to keep them enticed during that month? There's no sweaty selfies. There's no daily coach posts. They're just supposed to read it by themselves.
No, you know what? I think that's something I want to chat with you guys about. I think there's got to be some kind of accountability. Maybe we can have a tracker in there. Maybe we can have coach posts. Maybe they can be scheduled. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I mean, it's brand new. We can really kind of figure it out. But
when you do the units, they can check done, so you can actually track them that way too.
That's cool.
Who's actually like
is something that gets them ready for the real group, because they'll still have that same culture shock when they go into the new group if they go from just reading on their own time to millions of sweaty selfies all day.
Yeah. So then maybe we do, what I was trying to eliminate for us as coaches is having a million groups going on at the same time.
Right.
But by all means, we can post our sweaty selfie in 2 groups. Like, we're able. That's not a lot to ask. So maybe we do that. Maybe we do give them like the culture of, of us and the other new challengers.
I have a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we regroup at the end of each month and see who decided to sign up to what program, so we kind of have an idea of who's in that group, so we can encourage those people to post. I'm just talking out loud right now.
You mean like which coaches are doing which program and those?
No, like which us coaches regroup as to how many challenges we got in that, like, for the next month, and just ensure that like the energy is there.
Yeah.
And that the new group is rolling also, right? So people in it for 30 days, but their 30 days won't all start on the same day. Right. So even the content in there has to be always new. Like, it has to be always going about the same topic. So we could just make up 30 days worth of posts, save them somewhere, and just rolling them around, in a circle. That way it's like we still getting those daily posts, but we're not having to do the work kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And also at like on the diamond retreat, they're saying that like we need to simplify things more. So what a lot of the elite and top coaches are doing is that the first 2 weeks, they are just doing content from the coaches, whether it be like Thankful, November, or whatever. And then the rest of the week or the rest of the month, it is a challenge. What did they say? A challenger run group, meaning, yeah, you know what? I'm a challenger because at the end of the day, we need to be the best challengers. So if you're wasting all your time planning out these 30 days of posts, it's really freaking stressful. And yeah, challenge groups are fun and everything, but we really drive our business through interacting with our downline trainings and everything like that. So if you just simplify and and not do like 30 days of this, 30 days of that, and just do like and training your challengers to post every single day, you know, then I don't know. I think that's the route I'm going with mine. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want everyone like stressing out over something that's.
Yeah. Reduce overwhelm is what we said a million times at the retreat. Reduce
And
the
also,
Yes.
like when Melanie was on, like Melanie was like running another challenge group. You know, I'm 3 years into this thing. It gets old. It's tiring. It's the same stuff over and over again. And I have challengers that have been with me for a year, like for 3 years.
Yep.
So it's like, you need to switch it up. I'm doing the sanctuary. It's like, I have really great months. I have really slow months, but you know, now I have 140 people in there. Sometimes no one saw it. Now I'm getting at least 100 people looking at my post now.
Yeah.
You know, and
So
all I'm doing.
Hey, Sarah, how do you entice your challengers to post?
I never posted when I was a challenger, ever. I never posted.
Really? I did.
Never posted.
You remember, Devin, I did.
I never did. So for me, I was a troller, you know, like I saw what people were doing. I did this. And to clearly, like when I get people to post, I'm giving shit away. Where like, and that's what has to happen. Like that's how, with me, that's where I find success. I'm connecting with all my challengers, but maybe I'm not connecting with them in my challenge group. I'm connecting with them off in like messaging.
Yeah. A lot of people some people just don't want to be in front of a group and commenting, but that doesn't mean they're not watching.
But also, there could be people that are posting their shake or posting their sweaty selfie and going to eat the pizza or still smoking cigarettes or doing anything. Yeah. So like, I don't know, posting in a challenge group is not, for me, is not like a level of success. That's my opinion. I'm not the best coach. I'm not anything. I'm just thinking, now that I'm a mom, I have other shit that I need to worry about. And if someone's posting in my challenge group, that's the last thing I'm worried about. I want people to be healthy.
Yeah. So I want to touch on that. You actually beat me to my next point, in that the group that we are going to roll them into, like Sarah said, like I think we need to revamp and simplify and reduce overwhelm. And so the thought that we had was, a lot of coaches have these ongoing challenge groups. Ours is called Fall Fit Club at the moment. We keep changing the name through the seasons. Sarah's is called the Sanctuary. Teresa describes hers as the Virtual Wellness Studio. So the thought is this: we will shut down, and for those of you who are not in Fall Fit Club, just ignore this. I'll be quick, but we'll shut down Fall Fit Club in terms of coach posts for the last week of the year, and say to them, you're not getting coach posts this week, but we have something really exciting going on. And then January 1st, we delete the whole thing and put everybody in this new sanctuary or virtual wellness studio, whatever we choose to name it, which we can talk about later. And that will be, like Sarah just said, the first 2 weeks are a challenge where we have pretty cohesive graphics of day 1, day 2, kind of like what we're doing right now with the 13, 14 days of gratitude. And then the rest of the month is challenger led, which means they're not going to get a post every day. And it gives us more time to kind of reboot and regroup and be challengers ourselves. and also like come up with content that we're excited about, and not just like, oh crap, today's my day to post, I better come up with something. So that is the idea. We're not going to shut down and delete for a week. We're just going to say it's the last week of the year that we're, the coaches are taking a week off to revamp, and we'll explain that something else bigger and better is coming. So that was my thought, because I don't want anyone to feel like, well, I'm on day 75 of 80-day obsession and they just shut down the group. That's not what we're trying to do. So those are my thoughts.
By the way, I'm finishing on the 22nd, so we're all good.
Okay, so as long as we
no more posts from me,
yeah.
to worry.
And also, I need to. I remember this is one thing I do remember being a challenger, is that I loved watching other people doing other programs. So like, if you just have like a program-centered group, also you're like not expanding your challengers' horizon. If this makes sense, your challengers' horizons, because. Yeah. It's not a destination, and we need to be like saying that a lot to our challengers. Oh, because I'm done with 80-day obsession, I'm going to do it again. Like, I think also being a great, well-rounded coach is doing as many different programs as possible. So, because you're going to get a different result every time that you do a different program. So like for me, I remember like when I first started, I saw someone doing T25 and then someone doing P90X. I'm like, oh, I want to do that too. So, cause like we want to expand the whole bod, and cause now it's at their fingertip.
Yeah. You want them to be excited and thinking about what's next. And that helps with retention big time. Yeah, absolutely. Just a couple quick ideas that, things that you can do to make your challenge groups more exciting. A few ideas. You can do live workouts Monday to Friday. Have a set Zoom at one time every single weekday. Maybe do a live meal prep Zoom on Sunday. We can do a weekly email with questions and answers about what's to come in the next week. Kind of like a little newsletter personalized for our challenge groups. I really would love to put this into a place that the content is laid out by the first of the month. So all coaches are responsible to have their content laid out and pre-scheduled by the first of the month, so that we're not scrambling, we're not getting frustrated with each other. It's just consistent and visually appealing. But honestly, like focusing more on accountability than content. I want to say something Lee's on. So Lee had, right before she started coaching, she got a message from someone who was very outspoken and honest with us about her thoughts. And I was on this message thread, and she said to Lee, I thought you said this was an accountability group, but I feel like you're being dishonest. Is that what she said? Something like that, right? Yeah.
Jesus.
Maybe not in those words. And I was like, did she just call her dishonest? It was harsh. And Lee was brand new, like a brand new coach. I'm like, oh God. And I'm saying to her, Lee, it's not supposed to be like this. Don't worry.
It was my first person.
What she said,
it was like besides that was a family member. But it was okay because I got through it. It's fine.
Yeah. So I think that woman's point was that, maybe sometimes in our challenge group, she felt like we were kind of like an infomercial. Like she was maybe looking for more accountability and more people holding our feet to the fire than us being like, this may shake, So I feel like she was a little disappointed by what she saw. But that feedback made me a better coach, because I was like, well, I don't want other people to think that. I don't want anyone to call me dishonest. So it made me focus more on accountability and less on selling Shakeology. So, it's feedback like that. Like sometimes it stings to hear it, but it makes us run our groups better. So
just,
sorry.
Still in Fall Fit.
Sorry to reopen the wound.
She's still in Fall Fit. She didn't remove herself. Yeah. And I tagged her on one of the planks and things tags. So she's still, and she didn't remove herself yet. So
yeah, I said to Lee, like, she'll be back.
Be a customer.
She'll be a customer someday. She really will. A couple more ideas are keeping it simple by using info from the Beachbody blog. Like literally, I don't know if you guys have ever played around in the Beachbody blog. there are things that are at our fingertips, and sometimes we're like Googling what to talk about in our challenge groups. There's so many good ideas there. We can simply copy and paste from the Beachbody blog and make things easy. And just simply give people a place to hang out. That's it. Just reduce the overwhelm and get back to simplifying. So any questions about that? That is my personal plan. Like, I know some of you run your own challenge groups, and that's great. I think you got to do what works for you. If you're listening to me talk about this and you have a different idea and you want to break off and do your own challenge group, like, I'm not offended. I think you have to do what works for you as a coach and what speaks to the people that you're trying to speak to. So, all right. Sarah said, we'll get a lot of people excited. I like the morning workouts as a challenger. I think so. Like, I think a lot of people, you know, there might be days where on the Zoom it's just 1 or 2 people working out and there might be coaches, but that's okay. It would be cool to kind of let people know that they have that option for a little bit of extra accountability. I also like the idea of asking active challengers if they want to lead a coach post one day. I think that's something fun for them. I think it's flattering to say that to them. All right, next topic. I want to keep it moving because I know a lot of you guys have work tomorrow. All right, speaking of reducing overwhelm, one of the things we talked about at the Diamond Retreat that I put into play immediately was I changed my language and simplified it and made it more inviting. Rather than saying using things like become a coach, I just changed that language to join my team. And if you think about it, like, the word coach scares a lot of people. So if you say, I really would love to have you as part of my team, that's so much less threatening and less intimidating than I really want you to become a coach. So if you just think about it that way and just change your language and tweak it a little bit, it makes a huge difference. We have a new tool that I want to tell you guys about. I posted about it in the team page, but Trina paid someone to do a documentary about our team, and it's like a little commercial. It's like 4 minutes long, and you can share it with people and say, our team just launched this really cool video. What speaks to me is blank, whatever it is. What do you think? And I think people are going to watch a video and be like, wow, like, I relate to it, or I see someone that looks like me, or that looks like fun, or whatever it is. It's a really great new tool. Part of what we are doing is that we are no longer doing coach sneak peeks, which I'm really excited about, because although they could be effective, it was sometimes tricky to have to wait for the last week of the month to have something to add someone if they were interested, and yada yada. And like, I just feel like people are so saturated with Facebook groups and posts that they probably were not listening or reading through them all. But what we have now is an ongoing, it's kind of like an open house. So it's led by the Diamond Coaches and Rockstar Fit. So what we're doing is we have this group. Inside it is the video that they can watch, but they also every Wednesday get kind of like a Diamond coach to tell their story. I'm actually going this Wednesday, so I better figure out exactly what I'm supposed to say. But every Wednesday, a Diamond coach tells their story of how they got started, what their life is like, how coaching plays into their lives. So what you can do is, like, you know, say you've got a school teacher from the Midwest who hates her job but really likes to help people. You could tag her in Kim Meyer's story and be like, check out Kim's story. I really think that it would speak to you. Or if you've got a fit pro who is really busy but has endless connections and you think she'd be a great coach, you can tag her in Nikki Kerrigan's story and she can relate to Nikki. So it's really an awesome tool. It doesn't shut down. It's ongoing. You can add people whenever you want. You can have them watch that video. It's just so much easier than it used to be. So it makes us really easy to invite. And also, we talked about this in our team page too, but I think it's just when I've been inviting people to challenge groups, you know, even when we do power hours, think back, like we would be like, okay, 10 minutes inviting to our challenge group. Now we're going to spend 10 minutes inviting to coaching. We have merged them. So our new language, and again, this is what I'm doing, you don't have to do it, but I think simplifying is key, is saying, I'm so glad that you're interested. There's 2 ways to join me. Number 1 is as a challenger, and number 2 is on our team. The cost is the same, but as a member of my team, you get extra accountability and get to be part of our tribe. Something like that. I just made that up, but something like that, because it's true. The cost is the same. When they purchase the challenge pack, the coach enrollment fee is waived. The second message you send to them can be about the discount, and you can explain the $16 a month thing. But I would say try not, this is something that Christina Delgado talked about, try not to lead with the discount, because you're I feel like you're cutting short someone's potential when you do that. You're limiting their potential, because there's so much more to coaching. We don't want people to say, oh, I can just do this, let me just do this. We want people to, yes, get their discount, but also have their Shakeology paid for every month, and grow a team, and have the ability to make a nice second income for their family. So saying you should be a coach so you can get a discount really limits their potential. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, and our ongoing group will kind of let people in on what your life looks like as a coach. Okay, so I crammed a ton into the last 50 minutes, but does anyone have any questions? Yeah, so Sarah Rock said, Julianne spoke about at Summit that she doesn't offer discount coaching at all. So that's a tip I took from her at Summit. What she does is when, this is Julianne Condia, you guys, she's amazing. What she does is when she signs up a coach, she says to them, all right, the first thing we're going to do is get your investment paid for. So she encourages them to have 3 challenge packs sold. And what she actually taught us this weekend was the wording, all right, I'm so glad you're in. Now tell me a name of a friend or family member who needs this, who wants to do this with you. So right off the bat, that person is coming. I mean, everybody has a friend or family member who needs this in their lives. Right off the bat, they're coming in with someone, and they can enroll to be a coach, get those success points, which means elite points for her, and it's all just good things right down the line. So that's a really great strategy. But yeah, she doesn't even use the words discount coach. I don't really either anymore, but that's a really good tip. Joanna, the video is, it should be in that group.
Can you tag me?
Yeah. I don't remember the name of the sneak peek group off the top of my head, but I can post the link in our team page so that you guys can add people to it. I'm just reading through your comments, but shout out if you guys have any questions. Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else? I know I just threw so much at you. Honestly, there's so much more we could talk about, but I don't want to take up too much time. Yeah, I really just wanted to give you guys the basics.
Are you, for the new group, are you gonna ask us what we want to do for it for content, or are you just gonna are you still working that out in your head? Or
totally. I am nobody's boss.
Okay.
I want you guys to run this business like you want to run the business, and if there's a topic you want to talk about it. So we will figure all that out in terms of coming up with who covers what, so that we don't have repeats. But okay. Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, Devin, when do you want to start the beginners group?
I'd like to start everything new on the 1st.
Okay. So we're brainstorming now for the 1st.
So I opened up the beginners group so that we can start talking about who's going to cover which units. Okay. So I will link that in the team page also. And you guys can let me know what topic you want to talk about. So I feel like this is, I know it's a lot, but like this is making our lives so much easier. We have one place to put potential coaches. We have one place to put new challengers. You know, we have one challenge group. It's just simplifying. The last thing I want you guys to do is be checking into 5 different groups and feeling overwhelmed and like losing the joy in it. So I really want to help you guys, you know, have as much time as possible. Dawn says, how are we coming up with topics? We can just create a spreadsheet and you can just post whatever you want to talk about. It could be anything. Like, Dawn, you could talk about like how you fit bod into your running schedule, right. Or, you know, anything. Could be anything. Joanna says she's bad at meal prep, but she's really not. So she could talk about meal prep.
I know. I see your pictures. You're awesome at it.
She's like, I'm so bad at meal prep, but here's my perfect containers.
I'm so bad at it. No, I'm just not consistent with it.
But I'm terrible.
I'm really not consistent with it for real.
Anyway, yeah.
Do you want to? Because I do. This is a personal thing. I do better with deadlines. It drives me to like make it happen. Do you want to like just put a date on like a regroup on the calendar in December, so we're all like, you know, held accountable to come with our topics and
just
make it happen.
The same thing with the deadline is the date that you suggested that we were going to get together in December. I think like 8 people replied that they can't go that weekend. The weekend between the holidays, I think that's just going to be really rough for a lot of people. And that's like giving us 3 days to be ready for a challenge group that's going to start January 1st.
So the retreat in December between Christmas and New Year's is not really challenge group related. It's all personal growth related. But I'll put a poll out, and if it's not a good weekend, we can pick a different one. I just know that.
What about the weekend after that?
The weekend after Christmas?
Mm-hmm. No, like the weekend after, like the January 5th and 6th.
We can talk about it. You know what? At first, I thought maybe we could do it lining up with Super Sunday, so we all go to Super Sunday together. But I really didn't want to wait till the second week in January to give you guys New Year's type goals. You know. We could maybe do that first week in January, but then you might be giving up part of your following weekend for Super Saturday or something.
Right.
So
good point.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do a poll.
Okay.
Yeah, the kids go back to school on whatever that Monday is.
Also, keep in mind, T20, doesn't it launch like the 14th of January? Do we want to just, here's my suggestion with James. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way. Before I was a challenger coach, I would drag ass, like starting my New Year's resolutions. Like it would take me like a week and a half to like actually like put them into full force. I feel like you have to ease back into like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Do we want to start this like with T20 launch?
Our new group?
Well, no, no, the beginners group.
I don't know. See, I'm kind of the opposite.
You can say no.
January 1st, I wake up and I'm like, let's go.
Really?
Yeah, I think that the beginners group is going to be small that first month because a lot of the people will sign up and like have already joined for a couple days. The first month, everything, the beginners group in general will probably be small because we only add a certain number of coaches every month. So we just have to kind of trial and error it probably.
Yeah, for sure. And the beginners group is also, you know, people are going to be added to that, you know, constantly. So I don't think it really matters what day we start it, but I don't want to miss any of the people who are eager on January 1st by waiting.
And I think, too, that if we try to get people who maybe haven't worked out in a while or haven't been very active, jumping into T20 might be kind of overwhelming for them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can remember when I started T25 the first time, I was like, holy shit, like I'm not gonna make it through this. So maybe some of those people are gonna want to start with like an easier program.
Yeah, I think
too. So at least then they'd have an option.
Something different. Last year, 80-Day Obsession launched on that same weekend.
Yep.
And a good chunk of people who were brand new all did 80-Day Obsession. The big thing to do, but some challengers started with 21-Day Fix. It doesn't even matter, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, you can give them the option. But okay, one more idea was some people when people are interested in a program, some coaches send them a survey, and you kind of get ask them like, where's your fitness level at, and what do you struggle with, and how many pounds do you have to lose? That's so easy to put together a survey to send to your potential people, and it makes you look hella professional and like you really care about their answers. So that's a good idea. You could put that together, because if someone has like 100 pounds to lose and hasn't worked out in 5 years, you're probably not going to hook them up with T20. We don't want to discourage people, but we could talk about dates another day. All right. What else? It's 9:29.
Yeah, bedtime.
And it is bedtime, but I was like, I'm not going to keep past an hour, so crap, 9:30. I just did. Okay. Anyway, all right, you guys message me or send me info if you have any send me questions if you have any. And who's excited to push for elite? You guys don't look excited. It'll be exciting. I would rather miss the mark than say, I wish I would have tried that. Because like I feel like we're right on the like we're so close. Imagine if we didn't try and it turns out we could have done it. So we gotta try. And I'm for sure convinced that we'll do it next year, but we gotta try for this year too. It would be awesome. All right.
So Dev, what are the Premier points? How does that work?
You still need 105 points for Premier, but you only have to be 2-star. So there's a chance that might happen. But I kind of feel like.
Yeah, I didn't know if the points were like, if there were less points.
No, it's the same amount of points, it's just less stars.
Yeah, so.
And I've kind of, like, there's some coaches who are perfectly content with being Premier, but I kind of feel like, and I would be thrilled, but I kind of feel like elite is varsity and JV is Premier. And I'm like, nobody goes out and is like, I really want to hit JV. So there's just so much more that comes with elite that makes me really want to get there. But we'll see what happens. All I ask is that we just, if we each just really commit to it, and I think we can do it. So, all right, go to bed, you guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks, Seven.
All right, see you guys.